Hi guys, Penance here. I have another Destiny gameplay slash commentary video for you guys this week. As you may know, I really love Destiny and playing Destiny and talking about Destiny, so I really enjoy making these kinds of videos. This is basically a really good example of what I do on my stream. The video is actually taken from one of my streams, but I just got so carried away that I did like a total commentary over the top of it. So enjoy that. But essentially what I do on stream is just point out why I'm doing what I'm doing in game, you know, the choices I make, the decisions, and like all the logic and reasoning behind it. So hopefully you guys get something out of it and enjoy it, and I will catch you guys all next week. Thanks for joining me. So we spawn on the A side, which is the favourable side for this map in my opinion, simply because when you're on the C flag, you're down, you're not on the same level as everyone else, you have to drop, and I think you should always keep the height advantage where possible. So basically right at the start of the game, what you can see us doing here is pushing onto the B flag because it's really important to get control of it early. So we've won those early kills, those initial kills, and we've won the breakout, which is really good. So you can see that lets my team get onto the B flag. We've now capped it. Somehow the enemy team hasn't managed to cap their own home flag, so you can see that my teammate is going to try and push in there and get the triple cap. This is actually really bad, and it's something you never want to do, purely because if you push far enough into where the enemy team is currently spawning, you'll flip them around to the opposite side of the map, as you can see has happened right now. So some of them have spawned in that inside room, and some of them have spawned right down the back of the A flag spawn, which is where we spawn at the start of the game. So you can see that happen simply because my teammate pushed so far in. So you don't need to get that triple cap. Maybe if you're really dominating the other team and you're breaking their spawns up and it's really hard for them to, you know, get an advantage, then yes, you can do it. But you don't really need to be doing that off the start. You're way better off, especially on a map like this, if you just get control of your home flag and of the middle flag, and then you just set up and you capitalize on what you've done. So I'm in a bad position here. You can see I'm about to die. A lot of them just spawned there. I was by myself and not with my teammates, so I sort of made the choice to try and defend our flag there and see if I could push them back a little bit, but yeah, it wasn't enough. So I've spawned at the opposite side of the map to where I died, as you can see. Now I'm going to push back through. My team is capped C. I'm going to hold up on this flag here and see if I can just defend it and make sure that the enemy team doesn't get to our side of the map and start trying to take B, and then that would let them, you know, get more points, get back into the lead. Not something we want. So I'm pushing forward with my teammates here because we want to capitalize on the push that we just won. You know, the enemy team tried to, oh god, I have trouble killing this guy. That was bad. I should not have died there. The fact that I died would have allowed, if I hadn't put a nade in that toy that killed him, it would have allowed that dude to come through on the flank and kill my teammates from behind, which is pretty bad. So you can see that games can actually really hinge on just individual situations like that. You might not think that you dying, you know, is a huge sort of pivotal point in the game, but if you die at the wrong spot and allow the enemy to push through, then yeah, you very well could have, you know, win or lose the game on something as small as one gunfight, which I think is really cool. Right, so the enemy probably, it looks like they've spawned in the back room. So they're trying to push through now. I got ganged up on there, which was bad. Again, I was just trying to sort of see if I could push them back and defend our A flag. Somebody's popped super, so that's going to be interesting. And now you can see that heavy ammo is about to come up. So I feel bad for this dude because he tried to pop super. He still managed to kill me, so I don't feel too bad for him. But that was he sort of choked the super, but it is a really good time. If you want to save your super until heavy ammo is available, it's generally a really good idea to do so. That way, you know, when you and the enemy are fighting over the heavy ammo, which can be, again, another pivotal point in the game. If you have heavy, you can make the push that wins the game, or loses. You know, you do want to be saving your super until that time so you can use it to your advantage. And for that reason as well, it's always in your best interest to not rush heavy ammo. You kind of want to try and sit back and pick the enemy team off, because you do become just remember, you do become a target. You do become a target for super. So that I made a pretty good play there with my team. So I kind of pushed in, managed to clean up a couple of kills while the enemies weren't looking at me. So that would have been really helpful there. I did die, but I managed to take about 3 or 4 other people down with me. So the enemy team has B capped at the moment, so we really clearly want to make a push towards that. I somehow managed to survive here, so I think, yeah, it is in my best interests, I should say, to back up. Unfortunately, I get chased by someone who pops super because, you know, which they should be doing, they should be fighting, struggling to keep that B flag. But of course, my team now wants to overtake it so we can win. We've come up on the A spawn. A lot of my team is here, so that could be really good for us because we could then push back and try and overtake B, which it looks like one of my teammates is trying to do. I get pushed back here and then killed with a well-placed grenade. Honestly, I'm really, really bad at this the kind of spatial reasoning to figure out like if I'm going to be hit by a grenade. I'm just so bad at it. It's like my one FPS weakness, which I really need to work on. But yeah, I get kills here because I get snuck up on. I think I even say that when I was streaming. I remember just being like, shit, I'm going to die here. But yeah, not much I could really do there. I spawned in an awkward position, which was out in that back room where heavy spawns. It's not like a dedicated team spawn. It's sort of like there's people everywhere, so we're just going to throw you in the middle of the map spawn, and that can really be disadvantageous, you know, especially if the enemy has so much control of the map that you're not spawning next to your own flag. So here I make the decision not to chase after this person. I'm going to push back in. This is a bit sort of precarious here. I want to get that special because I want to bleed the other team of it. I'm very wary of actually pushing up though and trying to make a play when I can see there's none of my team around me, which is why you see me turn around, run all the way back to where my team is, and now we're going to try and keep B from this side, or capture B from this side. And of course there's an enemy trying to flank, so we then just make sure that they're not going to come in and try and break our setup. I die here because this dude has shotgun and I only have my knife, but instead of trying to get our flag, he instead runs back into B and tries to flank. So my team looks a bit scattered at the moment. 2 of us out of 5 are dead. So I'm going to spawn on our side, even though we don't have it capped. So we don't have the A. My sniping is pretty off here. I think normally I would have hit at least, you know, 1 or 2 of those. But I kind of choke a little bit. It would have been nice to get those guys off heavy. I was so far away from it from both sides that I wouldn't have been able to pick it up anyway. So I'm kind of in a bad position here. I've got 2 of my teammates behind me. There's some dudes pushed up on us. So we're really just going to try and take back this A flag, and that's going to be our footing to get back, you know, on even points with the enemy team and maybe let us win the game. So I get, as you can see, I've got like quite a few snipe bullets, so I'm going to be using my special ammo to my advantage. Damn, I was sure that was a snipe. That was deeply upsetting. Yeah, alright, so they've all pushed back. My radar's pretty empty. There seems to be some glitch in the game and the flag doesn't look right, but that's cool. My teammates all spawning behind me because I'm pushed up on the flag trying to take back control. So we're all going to... that was bad. I still challenge that simply because we did have the numbers there, and I think it's more important for us to get the points on that flag cap as well as kill the dude with super than, you know, I kind of would have been in a bad way if I just turned and ran away, because we would have been giving ground that we really needed. So while I had my teammates there behind me, I feel like it was better to make that challenge and see if we could get that kill, because, you know, someone who's pop super is pretty well worth like a whole bunch of individual enemies. Don't really know what I'm doing here. This was kind of a dumb move to try and just like push so far into the middle of the room. So you can see I kind of realized that, and then I turn around, run away. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go back to my team because I feel insecure. I didn't feel safe, right, you know, standing in the middle of the map. And if you ever get to a point of the game when you're playing and you think like, shit, I don't feel safe here, then use that as like a learning experience to turn around and go back to your teammates and try and set up with them. You know, even if you're not all communicating and you're just in a public match, you can still like just pick someone, follow them around. You'll notice that they'll be going in different directions and so on and so forth. Just see if you can like support them and make a play with them, you know. Okay, so I pop super here because we're in dire straits, and I've completely forgotten that I even have super because I do that a lot. So you can see that I made a really smart decision by staying in cover to clean that kill up and not just running straight into the room and then trying to get it and, you know, being vulnerable by exposing myself there. But then I made the dumb decision to jump straight out in the middle of that doorway and basically just like give that dude a kill. So I've spawned back of A here with my teammates. This is bad. The enemy team is rushing up on us. So I'm going to try and hang back, see if I can just avoid notice. At this point, I turn around and I run the hell away because I can see that heavy is about to spawn and I really want it. and somehow my team manages to have the other team in such disarray that it just works. So this here, I feel like with rockets, you want to use them as soon as possible, basically, because it's a really a scary time in the game. So I managed to get a good couple of kills with the rockets there just by holding forward and letting the enemy team come to me, which is super important. And then you can see I get a final kill. One of my teammates gets a kill as well, and we were so almost evenly matched that, you know, it was really, really close. But then that just kind of tipped us over the edge because we managed to get that heavy, and I was in a good position where the enemy team was running at me, and I could clean up kills. So that's yeah, that was a pretty good game. I didn't do too spectacularly. That was like a pretty, you know, average performance. I did make a couple of mistakes at some points, as you would have seen, and as I've pointed out. But overall, I'm mostly happy with that performance. I think a good game is one where you feel like you are really helping out your team, not necessarily one where, like, I've had games where I've run around and get 40 kills, but I feel like I did nothing. You know, for me, it's more about like winning and am I in the right spot and am I doing the right thing and am I helping my team, and just, I don't know, just you have to have the feeling that it was a good game. It's not just all stats. Okay, so that's it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to follow me on Twitch and on Twitter. It's the same handle, Penance with 3 A's. Okay, I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining me, and see you.